What's up, fashionpreneurs, and welcome back to the Fashion Guru podcast show. This is the go-to place for women who are ready to start, launch, grow, and thrive in their fashion or beauty businesses. I'm your host, Alea Alvarez, founder of the Fashion Guru Academy and CEO of Le'Madame Apparel. In today's episode, I want to take you back to the very beginning of my journey before I ever launched my brand. I'm going to share the common mistakes that cost me not only time, money, energy, but it left me completely overwhelmed and exhausted before I had even launched. These are mistakes that I personally would like you to avoid if you're starting your own fashion or beauty business. Let's get into it. So I first got the idea of starting my own online e-commerce boutique during COVID, and that was in 2021. And at the time, I had just been laid off from my 9-to-5 job. I had been working in sales in the corporate industry for over 7 years. And then once COVID hit, everything shut down and everything was transitioned online. So I had to quickly figure out how I could still have income and create something where that I could generate income where I could get people from online. And one of them that I started was like a drop shipping press on nails business, because during COVID, nail salons were closed and people still wanted to get their nails done. So I had created me like a drop shipping press on nails business, and I was doing that a little while, getting a little income, but nothing that was like, okay, this is sufficient type of deal. So I said, maybe I could start a boutique. And I had modeled for years, so I loved being in front of the camera. And so I thought, why not be my own brand? Why not put the spotlight on me? And that's basically how Le'Madame Apparel was born. Now, let me back on up to June of 2021 because I'm missing some context here. I was actually on Credit Karma looking at personal loan offers, and not for a business, just browsing. Needed a little extra money. And I had came across an offer for $6,000 off of Credit Karma. I kid you not. And at the time, entrepreneurship wasn't even in my head. I was just trying to get some extra money to pay a couple of bills, honestly. So when I saw that $6,000, my first thought was like, oh, I'm rich. I got this money. I'm about to go on vacation. Y'all, I kid not. I took my ass to Malibu, California for my 27th birthday, 4 years ago today, and that's exactly what I did. The trip cost me around $3,000, and so when I got back, I used the rest of the money to like pay bills and buy necessities. Didn't even think twice about a business. Fast forward 3 months later in September, I got the idea to start my boutique. So you see there, like, when I had the money, I wasn't in the business mindset. And then when I was in the business mindset, I didn't have the money. So life does not always play out how we expect it to play out. And I was like, I realized I had came to the conclusion. I was like, damn, why didn't I use that $6,000 to put on my boutique? And then I was like, man, that money could have been my ticket to getting started. That was enough money for me. I know most fashion brands are getting capital that's like $20,000, $50,000. I didn't have that. So I was happy to get that $6,000. And I was like thinking like, man, that could have covered my inventory, my marketing, my advertising, my virtual assistant, my brand campaign shoots, so many different things. And at the time when I got the money, I wasn't even in the business entrepreneurship mindset. Took my ass to Malibu, California for a once in a lifetime trip, which I don't regret because I probably would have never been. But that's what happened. And so God does not always align everything in our lives perfectly. There are so many things that have happened in my life personally that does not make sense. And I actually started to blame God. I was like, you gave me this business idea, but you didn't give me the business idea when you gave me the money. You gave me the money and I didn't have the business idea. Now I have the business idea and I don't have the money. You see how stuff is like backwards? That's how life is. It doesn't make sense. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. You're trying to put things together. You're trying to understand why I didn't have this when I had this. Why didn't this come at this time when I needed this? Things do not always align nor make sense. So, with that being said, that $6,000 was gone by the time September came. So I ended up funding Le'Madame Apparel strictly out of my own pocket while working a 9 to 5 job as an inside sales agent. So I started saving like $300 to $500 every 2 weeks or month until I had enough to buy my first bulk of inventory. Once I had that inventory, I thought I was officially in business. I thought I've invested, I'm serious, I've started. But here's where I had made my first big mistake, right? I had no business plan, absolutely nothing on paper, no financial projections, no idea about profit margins, no marketing strategy. I didn't know the order of operations from A to Z, nothing. I just knew I wanted to start. I had saved up some money. I bought some inventory and I figured everything else along the way. And honestly, that's honestly nothing was wrong with that because that's what a newbie would do. That's what a rookie would do coming into fashion e-commerce because we just simply just don't know any better. And that's okay. You don't know what you don't know. Then once I had the products, the overwhelm hit me. I was asking myself, okay, now I got, $1,500 worth of inventory. Now what do I do? It felt good ordering the inventory. It's like, okay, I'm starting a boutique. I'm ordering this. I'm spending and I'm buying inventory. You get the inventory shipped to your house. Oh, what do I do now? How do I get rid of the inventory? You see what I'm saying? I had no clue what the heck I was doing. I had so many questions in my head. I was like, am I going to model my own brand or am I going to use vendor photos? Which social media platform should I focus on? What about the packaging? Am I shipping myself or am I using a fulfillment center? Am I going to go brick and mortar eventually or just stay e-commerce? How is all this inventory going to be able to fit in my house? Where am I going to have room to pack orders? And then there's marketing and advertising and money, 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 money. Just saying that right now really just had me flashback and like how overwhelming it is running a fashion business from your house and just completely on your own. It is a lot of work. It is mentally draining. There are so many different tasks that go on behind the scenes, behind the business that people just don't know anything about. And this is not even everything. It's so much that has to be planned out. Fashion is expensive, okay? We're not selling t-shirts. This is women's apparel. And depending on what niche you are in, you could have some items that are actually up there and a bit pricey, which is fine. But you have to take on that risk and understand I'm taking on this financial risk and I have to have a business plan and a marketing plan and a strategy to get this inventory sold. And I didn't have any of that aligned. I didn't have a clue. I had nothing on paper at all besides my receipt that I ordered that inventory. That was the only thing that was on paper. And I just knew the dream honestly wasn't going to die unless I killed it. And the only way a dream can die is if you kill it. If you stop being productive, if you stop showing up, if you stop talking about it, stop marketing it, stop living it, stop faking it. I wasn't going to kill my dream no matter how overwhelming it seemed in the early stages of everything that I was going to be responsible for. I'm like, man, I'm in charge of the website design. I'm in charge of the social medias. I'm in charge of the brand campaign and the photo shoots. I'm modeling for the brand. I'm packaging and shipping the orders. I'm the virtual assistant. I'm ordering the inventory. I'm doing literally 50 different things, honestly. And when I tell this to people, they just like, oh, it sounds stressful. Absolutely. It's mentally draining. It's mentally draining. And this is my business model was private label. resale. This is not even from scratch. If you think this is stressful, think about actually starting a fashion brand from scratch, how challenging and how technical and mentally draining that is. Trying to find fabrics and pieces and fulfillment centers and manufacturers and all these different, that's even more expensive. But today's episode is sponsored by Le'Madame Apparel, your ultimate go-to online clothing brand for bold, empowering statement pieces that transition from day to night wear. From business boss woman suits to statement jumpsuits and stunning after-hour dresses, our pieces are made to take you from the boardroom to cocktail hour with ease. Offering all sizes ranging up to 3X, no one is left behind. You'll be free to find the perfect fit for your power moves and your night out moments with Le'Madame Apparel. Use promo code MADAM20 for 20% off of your first order today and tag Le'Madame Apparel on Instagram for a chance to be featured. Le'Madame Apparel, www.le'madameapparel.com, because you deserve to feel as empowered as your closet does. But I'm just letting you know, even just doing resale, wholesale is stressful. It is. I know a lady who is just a wholesaler, and she's like, it's so stressful when you spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars and you're not getting the buyers, because they have to sell too. They're selling to us for us to resell. So they depend on us to buy inventory from them. So everything is sales. And it's stressful. You have, even as a wholesaler, you need to have a marketing plan and a business plan, not just as a boutique reseller. Everyone needs to have a marketing plan and a business plan. If you're thinking about starting a business within the fashion industry, especially online e-commerce, the first thing you need to do, if I could tell myself 4 years ago when I started, is to have a business plan written down. Have something on paper to know what this is going to cost you. What are all the responsibilities that I'm going to have to take care of? How many people may I need to hire? A plan. What are my financial projections? What can I expect to get for a return on investment after buying this amount of inventory? What should I be pricing my products at? How can I balance this and work my 9 to 5? What's my schedule going to look like? You need to map out everything between A and Z, especially if you're working a 9 to 5 job. Trying to work a 9 to 5 job and run a full fashion e-commerce business on your own is a lot of work, and it's not for the weak. Okay. And sometimes I was actually putting my 9 to 5 job in jeopardy and not meeting my own sales projections for the sales company I was working for, because I was trying to meet my sales projections for my own company. So you see how hard it is trying to be an employee and an entrepreneur. And that's why most people drop one or the other, because it's so hard trying to balance both. Both companies need to be hands-on. Both companies need your attention. Both companies need strategy and skills. You get what I'm saying? And we are just one person trying to do this. It's a lot. And then you need to keep your 9 to 5 job so that you can have a little bit of capital investment to go into the business. I would never suggest anyone trying to just start a business and quitting their 9 to 5 job. And you've probably heard this from many people. I don't suggest it, because you don't know if it's going to pick up. You don't, especially if you have nothing written down for a business plan, you don't even know what it's going to cost. You might think, oh, it's going to cost me $500 to get started. That might be right. $500 to get started today, and you still need about $5,000 more dollars between now and the next 7 months. So without having any kind of business plan down on paper, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up to be stressed out, depressed, and overwhelmed, and spending and doing a lot of unnecessary work without knowing exactly what you're doing. So I would suggest everyone who's looking to get into this industry to have some type of business plan laid out so they can know what to expect and to be able to be in a position to set realistic expectations. Because this is not just This is not just, one, two, three, ABC. Okay. This is a full led business, and it takes a lot of hard work. It takes time, energy, patience, and dedication, resources, and of course, money. And so if you don't have all those things, you might need to wait and put this on hold until you're in a better position, because once you're in, it ain't no getting out. Because once you've bought your inventory, it ain't no getting out. You got to get that money back. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that my dream wasn't going to die, because I wasn't going to kill my dream no matter how hard it got. My whole inspiration behind Le'Madame Apparel was I wanted to create a brand that symbolized bold, powerful, unapologetic, business savvy women. And that's exactly what I created. I had a lot of that came from obviously the colors of my brand. If you ever been to my Instagram, you'll see that my brand is very bold in color. We're very fun, vibrant, bold color brand apparel line. And so I wanted women to feel bold, confident, powerful, and be empowered like the boss ass women that they are. And I'm going to tell you a funny story. My inspiration, honestly, behind the brand came from this Netflix real estate show called Selling Tampa with Sherelle Rosado. If you don't know her, she is a multi-seven-figure real estate investor, brokerage, businesswoman. She just does the damn thing. And so if you've ever watched that show on Selling Tampa, you'll just know like how she exudes herself. She has a military background, but she carries herself like a boss ass woman. And that's exactly how she exuded herself on that show. The women dressed sexy, but yet was still professional and bold, but they were, realtors. And she was like, you can still be a sexy realtor and still be professional. So that idea made me come up with Le'Madame Apparel. I was like, I wanted something that exuded boss ass, sexy women, but women who mean business, women who want to be empowered, smart women, educated women, women who feel empowered and love what they do. I wanted statement pieces, and that's exactly what Le'Madame Apparel represents. A statement piece apparel line that exudes women of power and elegance. And I think that I have nailed that successfully. Now, if I could give anyone any other advice besides the business plan side, I would definitely say be careful who you share your vision around. And I don't mean that to be negative, but I learned quickly that not everyone will support you when you're starting to do level up things like this. Like getting into the fashion industry, doing anything within the fashion or beauty industry, you're talking about a potential 6 or 7 figure business automatically, because the beauty industry is worth $1 billion, but the fashion industry is worth trillions of dollars. Okay. Beauty will never beat fashion. I don't care what anybody says. Fashion is first. So you're stepping into a $1 trillion industry. So it's very quite easy to obviously know that you can definitely make at least 6 figures in this business. And I would definitely say, just know that not everyone is here to support you. And it's your own friends and family who not supporting you. Let me tell you, the only people that supported me was my mom and my aunt. I didn't have friends that supported me. I didn't have cousins that supported me. None of that. 2 people supported me till today out of my brand. So that speaks volumes. I didn't have a lot of support from people that was close to me. Strangers cheered me on more than the people that I have known my entire life. So don't expect everyone to buy from you, share your post, or hype you up just because they know you. They don't owe you anything. And quite frankly, that's just how friends and family are. If they not leveling up and doing nothing business savvy or trying to get to the next level, they wonder why you doing what you doing. Why you trying to get ahead of me? Why you trying to go higher and I'm not trying to go higher? You got to remove yourself from those type of people, because those people have the mindset to keep you down. And energy is contagious, okay? For some reason, people have a hard time expecting someone who's aiming higher than they are. So protect your vision. Protect your vision. Don't waste energy seeking validation from people who just don't get it, who don't get that the 9 to 5 is not the way of life, that it's a system that's created by the white man to keep us in a stagnant position to have to be working for the rest of our lives. Share your ideas with communities who understand, like Facebook groups and other entrepreneurs and people who have already successfully made it to where you're trying to be. You're trying to be a fashion designer, speak to a successful fashion designer. You're trying to be a boutique owner, speak to a successful boutique owner. You're trying to start a multi-7 beauty brand, speak to people who have ran successful beauty brands. Don't be speaking to the person who don't have an interest in the beauty industry. Don't speak to a person who doesn't know nothing about being an entrepreneur and doesn't want to learn anything from you about being an entrepreneur to help themselves. Those people are not going to be the best people for you to be around. Those types of people are small-minded. Those types of people are not trying to level up. Okay? It's like Tyler Perry once says, once you're on a rocket ship, not everything and everyone can go with you. Once the rocket has got to a certain level of height, certain things on the rocket start to fall off so that it can go higher. And those people are sometimes more than likely your friends and family. They're gonna fall off. They can't go where you going. They're not trying to go where you going. And the more that you keep them on you, you can get higher to your purpose. So you got to drop those things off. And at the end of the day, I just know that I'm creating more than just a brand. I'm creating a movement. Le'Madame Apparel is a movement for me. It exudes women of confidence. It exudes women of empowerment and people who are not afraid to step out of their comfort zone and be bold and be beautiful and be business boss ass women, and it exudes that. The Fashion Guru Academy, my online academy program where I teach fashion and beauty entrepreneurs how to start, grow, and launch and scale fashion and beauty brands, is also a movement for me, not just a business, because it's a movement of getting people to get out of that 9 to 5 lifestyle, getting people to know that there's better on the other side, getting people to get more into that entrepreneurial mindset, getting them to supplement their income, getting them to actually turn their dreams into a reality, getting them to not feel like they cannot be discovered and they can't create their own spotlight and be the face of their brand, because you can. That's exactly what the Fashion Guru Academy exudes. And I feel like I have created that as well successfully. So both of my brands are about women empowerment and exuding confidence and leveling up and being the boss women that you were born to be. And stop trying to settle for less and stop trying to live paycheck to paycheck and start actually. A dream is not just a dream. And a lot of parents believe that and just don't really give their child the confidence that they need to believe your dream is not just a dream. You want to be a supermodel? Go be a supermodel. You want to be a fashion designer? You can be a fashion designer. You want to be a multi-6-7-figure academy owner? You can do that. All of these things are possible. If you believe it, that's all that matters. But don't let people around you who are not trying to go and do what you're trying to do tell you that your dream is just a dream. That's BS, and I don't stand for people like that, because that keeps people. We are here for a very short period of time, and we don't need anyone around us or in our circle that we live with telling us that we can't be who we want to be. God gave you that dream for a reason. It's instilled in you for a reason. You walk a certain way, you talk a certain way, you carry yourself a certain way. You position yourself to be a certain way because that's who God is calling you to be. You wouldn't be faking it till you make it if it wasn't something that you had a passion for. So why not go for what you already know that's instilled in you? It's instilled in your soul. So I'm just so excited to create brands and movements and be a vessel for the underprivileged minority groups and the people who feel like they just don't have a chance. They just can't get discovered. They just can't get started. They don't know anyone. They don't have this. I'm here to tell you that you can and you will. And so at the end of the day, like I said, I know that this is a movement. And so I refuse to take this crown off. I refuse to see my other sisters taking their crowns off because of it being heavy, because of it being plastic, because of it not fitting right. It doesn't matter. It's on your head. It'll eventually fit right. So if you take anything from my story today, take this and have a plan before you start. Guard your vision, guard your dream, protect your vision, because you have the faith, you have the belief, and the only one that can stop your dream from coming true is you. All right, guys, so that's the end of today's podcast. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up as it massively supports this channel. We want to get this video up to 1,000 likes. Make sure you put a comment down below. Let me know what you took away from this if you'll be starting your fashion or beauty business. Also, make sure you guys subscribe and also follow us on Instagram. I'll have all those links down in the description box below. Also, if you're interested in starting your career and trying to get education within the fashion or beauty industry, I would definitely advise you to go to my website, www.fashionguruacademy.com, and enroll today in our starter program. If you are already a fashion or boutique entrepreneur and you're just looking to scale and grow, we have also our Scale and Grow Accelerator program as well. So we have programs for everyone at every stage, and we have programs for people who are trying to go into different fields and careers within the fashion industry. And honestly, that's what makes my program different from other programs, is because most of the other competitors that I have seen in the industry, they are focusing on strictly just boutiques, or they're focusing on just people becoming designers. But there are a plethora of different careers and jobs within the fashion industry, and that's what the Fashion Guru Academy represents. Not just one niche, but multiple different niches and multiple different areas and resources and knowledge and education for people to reach their destinations and their dreams in life. So again, thank you for listening today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and follow us on Instagram. And make sure you check us out at www.thefashionguruacademy.com. Be sure to come back and tune into all of our podcasts. Our podcasts are Monday through Friday, dropping at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time.